Imagine owning a stone house in the French countryside for just over 100,000 euros. That's not a fantasy. Properties like that still exist here in the Loire Valley, one of the most beautiful regions in France. Real homes with gardens, fireplaces, wooden shutters, and views that belong on a calendar, not ruins or renovation projects, but places you could actually settle into and call yours. 7 properties is what we're covering today, starting around 100,000 euros and climbing from there, and as the price goes up, the homes get seriously good. From quiet village houses to places that feel closer to private estates, what we're really measuring isn't square footage. It's the kind of life your money buys in France. Stay with me through all 7, because the final property is absolutely worth waiting for. Property 1, 107,000 euros, which comes to around $125,000. Before we've even gotten started, the value here is already doing something that feels almost wrong for a country like France. The location sits between Richelieu and Châtellerault, in the peaceful Southern Touraine countryside, and Richelieu itself is worth knowing about. Cardinal Richelieu planned and built the town in the 17th century, and it survives today almost perfectly intact. A Renaissance grid, surrounded by farmland and forest. The countryside around it moves at a different pace, a gentle, unhurried stretch of sunflower fields and limestone villages where people still nod to strangers on market mornings. For 107,000 euros, you're getting a 2-story village house of approximately 125 square meters, around 1,345 square feet, sitting on nearly 13,850 square feet of land. 5 rooms total, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath and shower room, a study that functions naturally as a home office, and 2 bright living rooms sharing about 463 square feet with large windows and a traditional central fireplace. The kitchen arrives fitted and ready. Parquet floors run throughout, and southwest orientation pulls in sunlight from morning deep into the afternoon. Outside, a courtyard and a garden of roughly 9,690 square feet come with the sale. And what genuinely caught my attention was an adjoining buildable plot included in the price, a real development option for an extension, a guest cottage, or something you haven't figured out yet. 20 minutes from the motorway and the TGV station. So you're not giving up connectivity for countryside. At 107,000 euros, this is the entry point, and already the value feels almost uncomfortable. But Property 2 adds 35 more square meters of living space and arrives with a completely different character. So stay with me. Property 2, 139,000 euros, or roughly $162,000. Les Essarts sits in the Vendée, a region shaped by bocage, centuries-old hedgerows and tree lines carving the land into small private fields. And the sense of rootedness here gets into the property before you even open the front door. Quiet, green, private, in a way that city people spend long weekends imagining. What the listing classifies as a maison ancienne covers approximately 159 square meters, around 1,711 square feet, enclosed within just over half an acre of land. 3 bedrooms, a bath and shower room, and a layout with real depth. A living room with kitchenette and fireplace on the ground floor, an independent lounge, and upstairs a spacious bedroom with its own exterior access, genuinely useful for guests or for a rental setup that needs a private entrance. A 34 square meter upper floor area comfortably holds 2 sleeping spaces, a shower room, a toilet, and direct access to a convertible attic, which is more expansion potential without requiring structural intervention. Step outside, and the grounds deliver mature trees planted across beautifully kept gardens, a bowling green, outbuildings suited for storage or a workshop, and off-street parking. Oil-fired central heating is listed. Some modernization will be needed. This is old stone and old bones, not a developer renovation. And the structure shows it in the best way, in the proportions and the beams and the materials. The listing describes overall condition as excellent. Half an acre of enclosed private land with mature trees on every side and a bowling green, all of it for 139,000 euros. None of that quite prepares you for what Property 3 does, though, because neither of the first two can match what comes next. Before we get to property 3, here's a quick picture of what daily life in the Loire Valley actually looks like, because the properties are only half of what you're buying into. Called the Garden of France for good reason, the Loire River and its tributaries run through vineyards, tufa cliffs carved with troglodyte caves, Renaissance châteaux around nearly every bend, and markets that still operate the old way, with local farmers and real cheese. 4 genuine seasons describe the climate, but winters stay manageable and summers warm without tipping into brutality. Tours runs an international airport. Paris sits roughly an hour away by TGV from several stations across the region, and the expat community here is well established without having swallowed the character. This place remains genuinely French in the best sense. As always, prices reflect the moment of selection, so check all documents, local fees, and notary costs before committing. Now, property 3, and this is where the ladder makes its first real jump. Property 3, 160,000 euros, around $186,000. La Guerche sits in the heart of Southern Touraine, a quietly rewarding corner where tufa stone gives every street a warm, honeyed quality, and village life moves at exactly the tempo you'd hope for. A boulangerie, a weekly market, a square where people actually sit. And this is the listing where move-in ready isn't an approximation. It's almost literal. Fully renovated and fully furnished, this stone village house covers approximately 123 square meters, around 1,324 square feet, sitting on a plot of roughly 1,937 square feet. 3 bedrooms, 2 bath and shower rooms, and a restoration that used quality materials while keeping the authentic architectural character intact. Stone walls, period features, the bones of a proper old French house. Ground floor delivers an entrance with a functional office, 2 bedrooms, a shower room, a toilet, and a dedicated laundry and dressing room, while upstairs a living room centers on a wood-burning fireplace. A fully fitted kitchen arrives with appliances included, and a 3rd bedroom carries its own ensuite shower room and toilet. Sold fully furnished means you could genuinely pack a bag and start living there the same week. Fiber internet, mains electricity, water and drainage are all connected. A courtyard, terraces, a garden, off-street parking, a cellar, a loft, a workshop, and outbuildings for storage round out the package. But here's the detail that lifts this from a good buy to a genuine find. The view from the property takes in the local château. You're looking at a Loire Valley castle from your own window in a fully renovated and connected house for 160,000 euros. 1 hour from Tours Airport, 30 minutes from the Châtellerault TGV station. Property 3 holds the top spot for exactly 1 more listing, and then property 4 changes the equation. Property 4, 178,000 euros, or around $208,000. Saumur changes the tone of this lineup entirely. A proper Loire Valley town with a castle sitting above the river, a cavalry school with sentries behind it, a sparkling wine appellation, restaurants, schools, a market, and a functioning train station, linking you to Angers and Tours without a car. Saumur sits where the Touet meets the Loire, bookended by tufa cliffs, honeycombed with cave dwellings and wine cellars, and presided over by its white-turreted château. Living here isn't a countryside retreat. It's choosing a town that happens to be surrounded by some of the most beautiful land in France, which is a very different thing. 178,000 euros buys a family home covering approximately 83 square meters of primary living space, set on a wooded plot of 1,171 square meters, nearly 12,600 square feet. 2 bedrooms, a living room connected to a fitted kitchen, an open dining area, a bathroom, and a toilet describe the main floor. Compact, but comfortable for daily life. And that's where the value equation shifts, because the total building footprint runs to approximately 166 square meters, which means roughly 50 square meters of basement space below, around 538 square feet, with its own independent entrance from the garden. Conversion potential is the listing's description, a self-contained apartment, a home office, guest accommodation, a studio. The structure already exists, the entrance already opens from the garden, and the upside compounds over time as the main house functions comfortably today. A garage of around 25 square meters handles parking, hobbies, or extra storage. 5 minutes from the town center, 1.2 kilometers from the train station, surrounded by 12,000 square feet of flat private wooded garden. None of that changes based on what you eventually do with the basement. The upside is real, the location is excellent, and the price is 178,000 euros. Stay with me, because next, still in Saumur, the bedroom count jumps to 4. Property 5, 180,000 euros, around $210,000. Still in Saumur, separated from property 4 by just 1,900 euros in price, but a meaningfully different household in how it actually lives. A semi-detached family home covering approximately 115 square meters, around 1,238 square feet, sits on a plot of 353 square meters, about 3,800 square feet. 4 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and a layout the listing describes as comfortable, functional, and ready to use from day one. Entry comes through a double-glazed door with a 5-point lock, the kind of small detail that tells you someone thought carefully about quality, opening into a bright, open-plan living room and kitchen of approximately 28.7 square meters, fitted with a full set of modern appliances already in place: oven, induction hob, extractor, dishwasher. West-facing orientation pulls natural light through the afternoon and into the evening, and French doors from the dining area open onto a balcony with garden steps below. The bathroom on this floor carries both a bathtub and a shower, a double vanity, and a heated towel rail. Details that matter when you're actually living somewhere rather than just walking through. Up one floor, a hallway leads to a dressing area and 3 attic-style bedrooms with sloped ceilings that give each room its own character, plus a separate toilet. Recent insulation improvements on this floor directly cut heating bills. Down in the basement, a 28 square meter converted room, about 301 square feet, opens through its own independent entrance from the garden and functions today as a bedroom, guest suite, studio, or home office. Not theoretical conversion potential, but already done. A laundry room with a recently installed gas boiler and a cellar for storage complete the lower level, and cast iron radiators, double glazing, and electric roller shutters run throughout the house. Outside, fenced gardens front and rear frame a timber frame terrace with built-in lighting, and a detached garage with an automatic door sits alongside. 500 meters to a bakery and a school, 800 meters to the supermarket. Riverside walks along the Thoway, minutes away. Some finishing touches may still be wanted, cosmetic things, nothing structural, but the heating, insulation, kitchen, and converted basement all arrive solid and ready. 4 bedrooms, 4 floors of usable space, gardens on both sides, a terrace, a garage, and everything walkable for under 180,000 euros in the center of Saumur. 2 strong properties in the same town, 2 genuinely different households they serve. And now we leave Saumur entirely because Property 6 resets the whole conversation on scale. A quick word on the Loire Valley before we get there. The wine alone earns a mention. Saumur-Champigny, Vouvray, Chinon, Bourget, all produced within this region in vineyards visible from the road. Troglodyte cave houses carved into the tufa cliffs are still lived in, still sold, and occasionally still used as wine cellars. More than 300 châteaux sit within the Loire Valley, and several appear within cycling distance of properties on this very list. None of this belongs to a museum. It's real life, and it's available. Drop a comment below with which of these 5 you'd actually choose. And now, Property 6, 183,000 euros, roughly $212,000. And this is where things get genuinely interesting for the price. What you're looking at is a detached stone maison ancienne from the 1900s, sitting on just under 1/3 of an acre in the quiet village of Sepmes, in the Indre-Loire department of Centre-Val de Loire. Around 140 square meters of living space, enclosed by a small wooded park that wraps around the property and keeps the outside world at a comfortable distance. 3 bedrooms, but the layout earns that number rather than just listing it. The heart of the home is a single open room of roughly 46 square meters, combining a fitted kitchen with a ceramic stove and a living and dining area that pulls in natural light from multiple angles, giving the whole space a relaxed daily use feel that photos of French countryside homes often promise but rarely deliver. One of those bedrooms functions as a proper master suite with its own shower room and toilet, which adds a layer of privacy that changes how a home actually lives day to day. The other two bedrooms stay flexible, working equally well for family, guests, or a home office setup, and a separate large office reinforces that work-from-home functionality without borrowing space from the rest of the house. A second bathroom handles the remaining layout cleanly, keeping circulation straightforward. Attached to the main structure, a garage of around 20 square meters and a cellar handle storage and utility needs without cutting into any of the living areas, and the house runs on reversible air conditioning, which means it stays comfortable across seasons rather than just in the mild months. Step outside and the wooded park setting does most of the work. A shaded terrace extends directly from the house and offers a functional outdoor dining and relaxation area, while the established trees and greenery around the perimeter create genuine privacy, rather than the kind that depends on neighbors being cooperative. 9 minutes from the center of Saumur, with the A10 motorway close at hand, local shops and schools available inside the village itself, and enough rural surroundings to make the setting feel genuinely removed from urban life without actually isolating you. At 183,000 euros, this property delivers a strong combination of character, usable space, private outdoor land, and a location that keeps practical daily needs within reach. Property 7. The finale. 199,000 euros, around $232,000, in Gizeux, a village in the Touraine Angevin, a transition zone between the Loire and Anjou where rolling farmland, scattered woodlands, and a village-scape that hasn't shifted much in centuries define the setting. Wide skies and unhurried roads characterize the quiet northern reaches of the Indre-Loire departement, and the sense that this land has been tended for a very long time comes through before you even reach the front door. Gizeux carries something specific that sets it apart from comparable villages. A château, right in the village center, one of the finest privately owned castles in the region, open to visitors and surrounded by formal gardens. And this property sits, according to the listing, a stone's throw from it. 211 square meters of habitable living space, about 2,271 square feet, occupy a plot of 2,285 square meters, nearly 24,600 square feet. 4 bedrooms, 2 bath and shower rooms, and interiors with genuine architectural weight. The main living room arrives exceptionally large, flooded with natural light through generous French windows that open directly onto the terrace and gardens, centered on a stone wood-burning stove. A dining room with a hardwood staircase rising to an open gallery above delivers the kind of drama you don't expect to find inside a village house at this price. A fitted kitchen connects to both front and rear outdoor areas. The family bathroom upstairs carries a bathtub, walk-in shower, and quality finishes, and a gravel courtyard at the entrance provides ample parking alongside a large landscaped garden. And that's where the listing moves from impressive to genuinely singular. A former village dance hall stands on the grounds, alongside additional large outbuildings, all described as carrying real conversion possibilities for guest accommodation, event space, a workshop, studios, or rental sites. The listing explicitly names gîte and rental potential, and in a village sitting next to a château that draws visitors, that income stream isn't abstract or speculative. All 7 properties covered here are solid, none of them asking you to fund a major rescue project before you can sleep there. No money pits, no crumbling shells, places you can move into, as described, and build a life from. So where does this leave us? For the most surprising entry-level find, 3 bedrooms, a fireplace, parquet floors, and a buildable extra plot for 107,000 euros, Property 1 in Richelieu takes that tier, and it isn't close. For the most completely turnkey purchase in this lineup, fully furnished with a shadow view and ready the day you arrive, Property 3 in La Guerche is the one you pack a bag for. For the strongest city access plus countryside combination, with conversion potential already built and under the roof, Property 4 in Saumur makes a compelling case. And for sheer scale of house, garden, and development opportunity, the former dance hall, the outbuildings, the stone construction, and a castle next door, Property 7 in Gizeux is the one that stops you scrolling and starts you planning. Here's the call to make. If 199,000 euros landed in your account today, would you take the fully furnished stone house with the shadow view in La Guerche, or the 211 square meter village property with the dance hall and the castle next door in Gizeux? Drop your answer in the comments, and if you want the next region where this value goes even further, subscribe and you won't miss it.